Right, g'day again. Yeah, I'm still battling on with this quarter and the door. We're getting there. We're making progress, and I'm pretty happy with where I'm at. Actually, I've done a whole lot of stitching. I haven't got any buckle at all so far. So yeah, this is working. I've managed to get. I've got the center crease straight. Yeah, straight vertically. No, not vertically. Horizontally. I've got it straight. So yeah, I'm happy with that. I have actually checked it with a long straight edge. It's good. So that was my main concern. That's when you've got a crease that runs, from headlight to tail light, it's got to be straight. It's got to be straight the whole distance, or it's going to stand out, look stupid. And yeah, but we're getting there. Also, sometimes I think I'm sort of getting ahead of myself a bit, and that I probably should finish one bit before going on with it. But it's actually been a bonus because, start up here, tack, 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 every 6 inches, put a tack, and tack, tack, come down here, go right along the top of the door, because I've changed the door. I'll speak about that in a minute. Then come back, go down here, come back along the wheel arch. By the time I get to here, all this is completely cooled down. So I can basically keep going, I can go up there and then start again. Tack, tack, tack every 6 inches. And, but I've only been, what I've been doing is, I do that twice, and then I give it a 15 minutes rest anyway. Go and have a smoke. So it's, it takes me, I suppose, 15 minutes to go right around. So it's like half hour, and then I let it cool for 15 minutes. I start again. I haven't been doing this consistently, and I've been at this for probably 3-4 days now. Just a couple of hours of it each night. Got other things to do during the day, but it's all going pretty good. And I haven't actually filmed any of it, and reason being is I don't want anybody to take this as a tutorial on how to weld. I've been welding for a long time, but I made a mess of a lot of things in the process, and that's sort of partially how I've learnt. I've learnt what not to do. But more recently, I've been watching other people on YouTube, professionals who know what they're doing, who explain what they're doing, go into detail. And I'll put the links in. I'll put 3 channels actually in the comments. I'll put them. First one, this is the main one I get my advice from, Fitzy's Fabrications. Now, what I like about this guy is that he just uses basic tools. Hammer and dolly, he's got a sheet metal bender. I got one as well. I made my own, and if you want to learn how to make one, I did a video on that as well. He's also got some different width of steel pipe, which are joined together when he puts sheet around and that, and he uses that to get rolled panel. I'm going to make myself one actually. I've got some pipe out there, so. But that's basically the only 2 bits of equipment he ever uses. And he gets complex really complex panels, and instead of trying to make the whole panel, like you might have a panel that comes up, down, out, down, out, and then folds around the corner, and instead of trying to make that out of one piece, he'll make that out of 5 different pieces and weld them all together. And he shows you how to do these things, how to simplify it and make it with basic tools and make it easy for yourself. Anyway, and the other channel I watch, he's got a lot of expensive equipment, but he still does a lot of things using basic tools, but he also explains everything really well. He explains, what the metal is doing and how to, so he's another good, he's a real perfectionist, actually. He does work that, you're basically just seeing it down, you can put paint on it. That's his finished quality, there's basically no bog in it. He does stuff to where, any discrepancies can be filled with primer. But, I doubt I'll ever going to get up to that quality, or ever need to. And I'm going to drop a third channel in there as well, which is just my favourite. He's currently built this Roadster pickup, which in Australia is a ute. And there's a lot of stuff that, if you go back through it, so some of it's a bit boring and a bit, ordinary sort of stuff. But get to where he made the roof. That is incredible. He's made this roof out of a set of mudguards off an old car. I think 2 different types of mudguards, so 4 mudguards and a bonnet. And he cut them all up and fitted them together and made a roof. And it's just amazing, just the way he even had the ability to see the shape he wanted in these guards and, work out how to fit them together. So anyway, enough of that. Getting back to the job. I went along cleaning this up just to see, and it's a bit premature. I was thinking it might be easier to, easier to tack when you don't have all the dags, on it. But having done that, I'm just thinking, well, I've got to go over it again, with the grinder. I'm just using a flap disc. I rarely sort of use a stone now on sheet metal, which is what I used to do. I used to gouge it, used to make it too thin. By using a sander bed, it's a whole lot easier to just grind your welds and not wear the panel itself down. So that's something else I've learnt sort of recently. Of course, when I get up here, some of this is getting too close to this rolled edge, and I've actually tacked it onto the rolled edge because there's no, the weld spreads and there's just no way around it. So when I get up here, I'll have to clean that up with a cutting disc, a thin cutting disc, because nothing else is going to get under that lip, and clean it out. But as I said, I haven't managed to buckle it anywhere. That was my main concern. I did have to put a relief cut here. It's because when I pulled it down and pulled it in, it sort of started to buckle up here and down here, so I put a relief cut in it. But what I should have done is I didn't check on here. I'll show you what I mean. Stick a straight edge on here. If you can see the daylight between there, there's a good 2mm gap. 2mm gap in here. That's no good. So I'm gonna have to cut that again and push it out, which is what I should have done to begin with. Like this crease has to be straight horizontally, but vertically it's not straight. These are like wings. They curve around, they come in at the door, they go about 6 inches or so, and then they come out again to a second wing. There's like 2 wings. So, but yeah, it should still be straight from this point to that point. It's not. So, as I said, I'm going to put another cut in that. I've got the door bolted up. I've got the adjusters. Everything's set right. I have changed the top like I was intending to. This is the top of the Statesman door. The Statesman door, I cut the top off thinking that the crease was, it was curved down. It wasn't straight. Somebody else had repaired this other door. But as I said, this one wasn't either. So I've had to straighten them up. But yeah, I probably could have just fixed that other door and not, cut the top off it. And however, the other door did have a rust hole down in the corner. So in reality, this is a better door. It doesn't actually have any rust holes, or not in the outer skin. There's a bit of one on the inside. So, I'll cut it out. I don't even know if I'll patch it yet. Probably will. It's got a little bit of a high spot here. I'm going to have to, because that's stretched as well. So I'll try and hammer and dolly that in, but whether I can manage to shrink it, I'm not that crash out on doing. Usually when I try and panel bead things, all I manage to do is stretch it. So it quite often gets worse. But as I said, this has already got a bit of a flop in it. I'm thinking more along the lines actually of just cutting that, putting the cut in it. It's really easy when you've got a cut in it to just fold it in. And that way it'll tighten it up. It'll take any flop out of it. So I'm pretty certain that's what I'll do with that dent. But yeah, point I was getting to here, this door, I've had to make it about 2 mil higher. Because that's as much as I could pull this quarter down. I couldn't get it right down to where it should be. And in doing that, when I put the top on, the top has to, I had to put the top, this whole top edge 2 mils lower so that the gap's correct at the top. And you wouldn't think that'd make a whole lot of difference, but yeah, it has. I'll show you. Not a major issue. It's nothing you're going to see, because, I mean, this is all covered with the the inner panel with the door card. But yeah, this was sitting it down too much 2 mil lower. There was a huge gaps on both sides here. I've had to put a cut in here and fold it in and make it neat. But yeah, that shouldn't be an issue anyway. So that's all covered by the door cards. So yeah, no major problems. But yeah, got it all lining up. Next issue I've got is here. Yeah, I'm wondering whether that was the door or the quarter panel. So it's meeting fairly well all the way down here, right up to there, and then the door is too low. I'm checking the door's straight, and then I'll check the quarter's straight, and I think, what the hell's going on here? And so then I decided to go and check the other side. And use a shorter one. I checked it with a long one before, but not making a difference. And yeah, don't know if you can see that or not. You get this on the panel. So it's straight there with the door. As you come up, it curves in. You can actually You can see where the reel has been touching it. So this original panel actually curves in from about this point here all the way up, and that quarter panel is straight all the way to here. It's not curving in, so that's a fault with the quarter panel. Yeah, that's rare spares quarter panel that hasn't been made properly. So yeah, but it's sort of a bit of a it's an issue that I got to deal with, but it's a relief that it's not my doing. You know, that it's not wrong because of something that I've done. So that is sort of pleasing in itself, you know. Even though now got to go and correct it, but yeah, at least I don't have. I'm not looking at it and thinking, oh, I stuffed that up. So I didn't, you know. It just wasn't manufactured properly to start with. So, but yeah, I'll get all this welded in. But yeah, I'm gonna have to open the door now and cut. Well, I already cut it before anyway. Yeah, hang on, I'll lock the door. And yeah, have to go along now. Cut, even though like I've cut it before. No, I've tacked it, but I'm gonna have to cut it all again and try and pull this down. And it probably won't pull down without. I'll probably have to put a cutter too this way as well. I'll probably at least in here. Actually, that's probably alright. Probably even just fold it from this part. That'll probably be alright. But I'll probably have to put a cut here. I don't know about in there. I may even have to put a couple of cuts in here yet. And yeah, so I'm gonna have to cut right along there, bring it all in, and yeah, well, back together. So anyway, that's what we're up to, and yeah. Now I've been looking at this thing. You know, I've had this back in the shed now for a few weeks. You know, it's putting my engine in and starting it, and I was really sort of keen to start grinding this. I thought about it, and yeah, I didn't actually have a disc like this. This would be I'll have to do this with a stone disc. Don't really have anything else. But yeah, I was going to get this finished, but yeah, I've stuffed that up completely because I had these off. There was a rust hole in here. There's a big patch in here, and there's another big patch on the other side. This is sort of fairly close, but I brought it out too far. On the other side, it's in way too far. I'll show you. Yeah, I made a complete mess of this. I don't know how I managed it, but yeah, you can actually see where the patch was on this. But that's all new metal. And not very great. I could have done that better, but yeah, I'm going to have to cut it all open now. Bring it out, because that's what these, took a template of the other door. Before I do it, actually, I'll take the chrome strip off. It's a bit hard to tell exactly, where the height is, whether it's there or that. But yeah, the doors are the same, basically. And yeah, that's also what. I took this template off the other side. So just compare the two of them. So yeah, I'm gonna have to cut all that up out again, and just looking like before I do that, I'm gonna have to do a full mock-up. I was about to paint the firewall so I can start putting my distributor in and carburetor on and hooking things up to the engine so I can start it, but I'm going to put that off now because I got to do a full mock-up. I got to get Get the radiator support panel on because that holds the front of the guards. I've got to get the guards on so that I can get the bonnet on. The bonnet is, when you're assembling these, get your guards on, you just bolt them up, so just nip them up, you don't do them up fully. You get your bonnet on, you line your bonnet up with your dash panel, and that's what you work from. Because you can't line your bonnet up with your guards. You've got to get the bonnet lined up with the body, and then you line your guards up with the bonnet. And so I'm going to have to do a full mock-up now and have all of this in place so that I can redo these and make them fit. And the guards themselves need a bit of work. I did I put flues in them, and I just plug welded, did an overlap with the plug weld and puttied over it, and all the putty's cracking. So I'm going to have to cut them out and do a full butt weld in them anyway. So both guards have got to be welded. The left-hand guard was pretty crap. I haven't thrown it out yet, but I will. But I've got another panel that doesn't have any bog in it, and it's straight across the top. A little bit bent down the bottom at the front here. Got a rust hole in the back. So I'll be cutting bits off the other guards and fixing it up. So, still got a fair bit of work ahead of me, but we're getting there. So, anyway, hope this hasn't been too boring for you. And as I said, this is by no means a tutorial. It's things I'm learning along the way. As I said, I've been welding for a long time. I've had this welder for close to 30 years now, and I'm still learning. Each job you do, you learn something from, and in the past few years, I've learnt more from watching other professionals on YouTube than in the whole rest of the welding time. So still learning, and I've still got lots to learn. So anyway, have a look at look up the channels I put in there if you are looking to learn techniques and ways to do patch panels, etc., modifications on cars. These 3 channels are good. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. It's enough of a ramble. So thanks for watching, and might catch you again. Bye.